Lamar Jackson is not our quarterback. He's a person. He's not our property, and he's not anyone else's property, except maybe his mother's. It's been funny to me to see people react to a professional athlete as if he's something that we can or that we should control. He's a 24-year-old guy, and people are reacting as if they should control him, as if he doesn't make good decisions. We're forgetting that there's a person inside that helmet or that jersey, and it's a person that goes through life stages, hopefully, that we all do, right? Being young and then middle-aged and then old and then really old, hopefully. It's funny to me, though, when sports fans and commentators try to put a person down for catching a virus. Lamar Jackson wasn't vaccinated. I have no idea why, and frankly, I don't care to. This is honestly something I don't even want to talk about on this channel, but there's no All-22 film on Game Pass right now for me to access, so here we are. This might drive off half my subscribers at this point. I hope it doesn't. Just trying to offer an opinion that that I hope is player-centered. Lamar Jackson's no different than Marlon Humphrey, who openly said he was vaccinated, and he tried to convince other people to go do so. Lamar is no different than John Harbaugh or any other Ravens coach, except that those coaches were forced to get the vaccine by the NFL, whereas Lamar had a choice. Frank Reich was forced to get the vaccine as well. Anybody hear the Indianapolis media criticizing him for testing positive, for being irresponsible, immature? Is ESPN criticizing him? Are Colts fans angry that Frank Reich will miss some on-field practices? Look, they could all get the virus, just like any of us could. Yet some of us, supposed Ravens fans, and even local sports reporters, are upset and angry with Lamar Jackson as if he committed a crime. He's never been linked to any real drama or anything negative that I'm aware of. Speeding tickets, okay. A high-speed video in a sports car when I think he was 21 years old, posted to social media. Y'all ever driven a car really fast? I have. You ever got a fine? I have. I've been ticketed in New Jersey, Maryland, and Delaware. Delaware's worse than state highway police in Alabama if you ever been there. There's other QBs in this league in the same draft as Lamar who were arrested in college on video, made lewd gestures on the field on video. Some quarterbacks in this league have even been suspected of assaults. Not Lamar, not once. Not in high school, not in college, and not in the NFL. Look, he could have tested positive even if he had that vaccine, right? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But any of us, vaccinated or not, could test positive. Is Gus Edwards going to get a bunch of hate online and in the local media, Ravens media, because he tested positive? He's out for 10 days too, right? Are Ravens fans going to be angry at John Harbaugh or Greg Roman if they test positive at some point? Frank Reich tested positive, and he's clearly vaccinated. Players on the Chiefs, Giants, and other NFL teams have tested positive too. Some vaccinated, some not. Lamar and Gus Edwards could have caught the virus while attending an NFL meeting, a practice, or some public event. We'll talk about that in a minute. Or maybe while they were on a plane coming to training camp. I read enough comments the last 2 days on Reddit and Twitter to realize some fans look at Lamar Jackson as an object, something they want to control, and they're quite angry that they cannot. He'll miss 10 days, not 10 practices. To my count, it'll be 6 or 7 practices? I might be wrong, and that's substantial. But what I heard very little of from fans, from those same fans and those same local media, was concern or well wishes for Lamar. The vitriol from some fans and some media reminded me of those same people who went after Simone Biles, another super talented 24-year-old star who might have made a bad decision recently. But just like Biles, we don't know all the circumstances with Lamar. We don't. And we don't know all the circumstances with Biles, other than what she has said and what maybe coaches and teammates have said, right? Mike Preston of the Baltimore Sun, look at it. He said Lamar lacks discipline. He said he's an overprotected kid and that it was time for him to cut out the immature antics. Does he know something that we don't know? Does he have some information about how Lamar contracted the virus? I mean, I really don't care. I'm not going to worry about how another grown man contracted the virus. As a fan of Lamar, I hope he recovers, and I hope that however he contracted the virus, if he's aware of it, that he doesn't repeat that mistake, obviously. I'll let you look at the article on your own. Poor decision making, again, puts himself and the Ravens in a difficult spot. And he listed in the article, if I remember correct, some things that Lamar has done, referencing speeding tickets, I believe. He may have even referenced the event Lamar hosted down in South Florida. I could be wrong. I don't even want to link to it. I hesitated to even show the picture. The Sun also printed a reader commentary that called Lamar selfish, said that he'd put his teammates, co-workers, friends, and especially his family at risk. Again, does this person who wrote in, and I blocked his name, do they know how he contracted the virus? Do they have some info that we don't have? That's just the Sun using a reader commentary to say what they want to say. Now, they let Mike Preston say it, because he's got carte blanche to say whatever the hell he wants. He's been there long enough. I disagree with him. I think maybe sometimes as a media member, you should wait a couple days, wait for some actual information to come out, and let the person, Lamar, provide information as he wishes. To me, this is the same type of thinking the media hinted at 2 weeks ago when videos surfaced of Lamar hosting his Fun Day with LJ event down in Florida. The positive test just unlocked the ability for some people in the media and fans to go ahead and criticize like they wanted to a couple of weeks ago. Did he put himself at risk by attending that event, by facilitating it? Were those kids at risk? People today and yesterday, people went right back to the Fun Day with LJ event, using it as supplementary evidence that he's irresponsible. I disagree. It makes me wonder how many of those people criticizing him have ever been in the position where they volunteered to help kids, or where they had no choice but to try to help kids because nobody else was doing it. I've worked with kids almost my whole adult life, since I was 17, either as a teacher, coach, a mentor to my nephews for sports in school. One thing I know is kids want to be valued. They want to know that someone cares. And when a person as prominent and popular as Lamar Jackson takes time to go be with them where they live, that's incredibly powerful for those kids. And those kids won't even verbalize it all the time, but it might be an internal message, an internal lesson that they learned. It helps some kids to see success in the flesh, especially if they don't always see it in their neighborhood, school, or in their home. And that's where I think the divide is for that event and for his positive test, between those who've been in the position like those kids before, or have at least seen the impact firsthand, and those people on the other side, those who had the privilege to not require those messages, those lessons. It doesn't mean one person who supports Lamar or supported him attending the event, which I do, is right. It's not about right and wrong. It doesn't mean that others who disagree are wrong. It means that one side has understanding of how much that event mattered to those kids and how much Lamar Jackson matters to those kids. And that's why the adults trip me out some, because they pass judgment on Lamar as quick as they can, whether it's an event, a positive COVID test, a second one in fact, an interception thrown up in Buffalo, a fumble against Pittsburgh. Some of these adults criticize him immediately, but if you listen to kids and kids who look up to him, they would give anything to be within 5 feet of him, even still. I know I'm sounding preachy, but I think the same thing applies to his positive test result. It's not about right and wrong. It's about whether you have understanding of how kids look at him and how he feels and how he operates, I should say, how he operates with people. I think Lamar Jackson treats people like people. Coaches, teammates, fans, the media. I think we owe Lamar the same courtesy. He didn't commit a crime. He didn't try to evade the police after committing a crime. He didn't make lewd gestures or comments. He didn't make inflammatory statements to the press or on social media. He contracted a virus, one that we're all scared of and we all want to avoid. I don't pretend to know enough about the science of the testing or transmission at this point to feel comfortable judging another man for his choices. And I don't have the inclination to either. I'm wondering if many of the criticisms of Lamar are from people whose main concern is they want the Ravens to win a Super Bowl. And they know Lamar is the key to that. I get it. Okay, I get it. But does your fandom and your support stop at the point where Lamar's life and personal choices begin? To my knowledge, none of his choices are or have been illegal. None of them have harmed other people physically. I mean, certainly he contracted the virus from someone else, right? Unless there's other means of transmission that we don't know about. Hopefully him and his family are going to be okay, and the Ravens players and staff are as well, right? But honestly, it seems like an unbalanced criticism to me. People want him to lead the Ravens to a Super Bowl. As a longtime Ravens fan, I do too. That's not out of the realm of possibility now. We hope and pray that he recovers fast. But training camp's going to be a productive thing for this team. It's organized. The coach has got a plan. The players are there ready to go. It's going to be productive. They're going to come out 10 days from now or however many days from now when Lamar comes back. And they're going to come out and they're going to be a better team. Most of the criticism directed at him, in my opinion, should be refocused towards the NFL. The NFL and the NFLPA set up the artificial environment where vaccinated and unvaccinated players are being divided into groups, and then publicly or semi-publicly reported their testing schedule. So you can figure out, Lamar's testing schedule that he wasn't vaccinated. To me, the NFL is a bully, and they're just like the NCAA. The NCAA bullied athletes and coaches, but they bullied them for years before the player likeness rulings opened up athletes to profit from their own image. NFL and the NCAA are the same. A lot of y'all that have been mad at the NCAA for years for not letting players profit from their image, that was because of control. You were mad because the NCAA was controlling players. Why, as fans, are we adhering to the same type of thinking that the NCAA and NFL have towards their athletes? We don't have to control them, and in fact, we can't. Neither fans nor the league should try to put Lamar or any other player into a neat little box and only look at that box from a position of power and authority, because that's what this perspective from some fans is. It's from authority. I have authority over you because I'm a fan of, and I want you to win so badly because it validates me. That's not how you treat people. And I don't think that's how Lamar has ever treated anyone, at least from what I've observed. Not his coaches, fans, not the media, and certainly not teammates. Not ever teammates. I don't think Marlon Humphrey, Patrick Queen, or anyone in the organization feels like Lamar doesn't respect them and treat them like a person. Because they're all Ravens, whether they've been exposed to a virus or not, whether they've been vaccinated or not. I bet you that whole team has got his back no matter what. So why don't some of you?